Hello do sadwe, guys! Welcome to another video. Today we're starting in Macalania Forest. Now, I know, we've already done Macalania Forest for this chapter. There's really very little else going on. However, off-screen, I've done a fair amount of stuff since the previous episode. Part of that includes having unlocked a new ability, or a few new abilities actually across all the classes, but specifically a new ability for Yuna on Psychic. So last episode she'd really only just started with Psychic. Now she's got a very specific ability, which allows us to get something fairly early. You also remember last episode we got a Deep Haze on our team? Well, these are the Deep Hazes here. What we're actually doing in Macalania is looking for a regular haze. So I'll see you in a second when we've got a battle with one, and I will show you something very cool you can do this early on International X-2. 7th time's the charm. 7th time is the charm. All right, so here we go. In this fight, we do actually have two regular deep hazes, which we're going to want to get rid of. But we've also got a regular haze, so over there. Now, the regular haze is the guy that we're specifically looking for. We're already in control of Yuna there, so let's get Riku going. Riku, I won't go into all the abilities the girls have learned, but Riku's got her first G spell at this point. That's Fire G. And what we're going to do is just quickly try and dispatch of the deep hazes. So the only enemy left is a regular haze. Even though Pain is a gun mage and in theory can do specialized damage to various fiends. Oh, no, straight away. Okay, all right. Number one, the regular haze used Absorb on Pain and she learned a blue bullet Absorb. Okay, so this is the mechanic that I want to show you guys, right? The gun mage gets various abilities that allows them to, do extra damage against regular fiends. The Fiend Hunter stuff here, right? And she's got a bunch of new ones unlocked. But also they have blue bullets. Now, blue bullets are just like Kamari's Overdrive from the previous game. You only learn a blue bullet if an enemy uses that ability on you. Now, hazes in Chapter 1 and 2 are actually really good fiends for learning abilities because they give you not just one blue bullet, but two. And you'll see that now Pain has Absorb, and she can use it back on the haze. That's kind of the theme of the gun mage. Now, here's a very cool thing you can do, though. With Yuna, who's on Psychic. Now, remember, Psychic is only available as a part of X-2 International. You can get Psychic right at the start of Chapter 1 on X-2 International. And if you just train it a little bit, you get this ability here. We'll look at some of the other ones in a second, but you get this one here, Brainstorm. And this silences and confuses all enemies, which Psychics can use fairly frequently. And this is a very, very powerful attack that now means that Haze, though resistant to silence, isn't resistant to confuse. And now that he's confused, he's actually got a special ability he's going to want to use. We should probably start high potioning Riku, who's on a very little amount of health right now, being quite squishy as a black mage. And he actually has a very defensive ability, a very powerful ability that only Haze use. And now that he's confused, he has a chance for using it on us. Now, in the regular version of X2, there it is, Mighty Guard. He used it on himself. Damn it. Dude, you should be using that on us. What are you talking about? You're confused. Why did that work? All right, we just got to wait now. There you go. There it is. Now, Mighty Guard is an AoE ability too. So this gives Pain Mighty Guard. Until before X2 International, where you could get confused really early, it actually takes a while for you to get a really nice way of applying it in X2. So it'll be much later chapter you get Mighty Guard. But technique you can use in International is to get Psychic, train it up, put it in a specific configuration where, you've got your Psychic in there with a gun mage at the same time. And now Pain has Mighty Guard. Those of you who don't remember from the previous game, this is really potent magic that puts tons of buffs on your team. Now, the Haze cast it on us. So if we go like Mighty Guard here, if you look at all of our effects, we've got tons. We've got Regen, we've got Shell, we've got Protect, we've got Haste on us, and they're all lasting for quite some time. The sad thing is that the enemy's version of Mighty Guard is actually slightly different to what the Gun Mage will then be able to cast from then on. This isn't Hastesia for us, plus Protectica, plus Shelga, plus all that stuff all at once. It's not quite that powerful. It may have only been nerfed in this version of the game. I actually haven't confirmed that or not. But it has been nerfed a little. But this straight away, okay, Mighty Guard being here, is an example of how the Blue Mage is actually one of the great support classes in the game. I've talked to you guys about this already. I don't actually know what this would count as a Fiend type. Let's just use Shellcrack or whatever. Get a bit of AP from. So this is one of the reasons why people consider the Gun Mage to be great support. And actually this episode I'm going to talk about two different blue bullets you can get early on in the game that make it even better than White Mage. Alright, so we get Protectica and Shelga together already for not that much MP. Just using that little technique there. Alright, that was just the start of the video though. I cannot believe we spent so long on that. what we're actually doing in Macalania as well is it's kind of useful for us because we are going to be going to the Calmlands, and the Calmlands are very close by. Now, what actually happened at the end of the last episode is Awaka left the... No, not Awaka. Awaka's been on the airship the entire time. Clasko, sorry. Clasko left the airship very briefly to check out some stuff on the Mian High Road, as we saw. Then we went back again and got Clasko back again. If you guys have noticed, throughout the game so far, there's been a lot of opportunities to miss Clasko. Like, you meet him, but then you've got to return after the mission to get him on board. Then you've got to take him to the Mian High Road. Then you've got to go back to the Mian High Road to get back. And he came on with Carly and a Chocobo, remember? Because we've done all that stuff this early, when you return to the airship, and now we go, and we actually have 2 hotspots. We don't just have Guado Salam, which is the main mission hotspot. But because we've got the 3 outfits. But we've also now got the Calmlands as a hotspot. But for now, let's check out the Calmlands in Chapter 2. And not too much will have changed without having done all that Clasko stuff as well. Actually, I'm a little bit worried here, so let's just heal up a little. And Riku's out of MP, which isn't great because she's a black mage. So what I'd actually quite like to do with Riku here is equip her with some nicer gear. Now, what I was doing with the girls in the previous videos was just these titanium bagels. You get them like candy from the first tournament on the airship that I showed you guys already. 40% extra max health. They're great. But, you know, they're not very specialized for what they're doing at the moment. So what I actually did with Riku was I gave her this crystal ball. Remember that fiend tail with the zoo who fought the flame dragon? You get a chest at the end, and I said you get a crystal ball out of it. Well, that rose her magic damage by 50, which is great. But then what we might also want is perhaps some MP boosting, so MP by 40%, right? So now she's got that, and she's actually fairly well spec'd as a black mage now. She's got an appropriate grid, well, sort of, but she's got an appropriate class and then decent stuff as well. So we'll just pop an ether on her, 2 ethers, why not? It's not too bad. When I was watching back through the series, I got really annoyed. I said 99 ethers to friggin' Awaka, or Barkeep, sorry, in the airship. But yeah, so we're back at the Calmlands. From the last chapter, you guys should just remember, this is now the site of mini-games. And there are 2 companies here, Argent Inc. and Open Air. Remember at the start of this video where I literally just said to you guys that I spent a lot of time grinding for different things off screen? Well, one of the things I did was I traveled all around Spira, and I advertised, using my guide specifically, to everyone, all the bachelorettes, all the people, specifically saying to them, hey, check out Open Air, they are the best. And like most of the times, there's a multicasted Firaga there. Most of the time, it did incredible. So, you know, I advertised a lot of these agencies here. Argent isn't doing too well on this file, but Open Air's doing great. And what I actually want to show you guys is how that can affect things as you go forward in the chapters. So let's head over to that hover there, which I did visit in Chapter 1, but I never showed you guys the minigame, which is crazy and completely over my head, and you will see. All right, we get a little chest here as well, which I don't believe I showed on the previous episode. There you go, we get 2 ethers back. It's almost like we didn't spend any. All right, so on the right, of course, we've got the stupid Argent old lady, who we don't like. And on the left, we've actually got the Open Air guy. By the way, guys, today as I record, it's Christmas Eve. It's Christmas Eve. I've actually not been eating any carbohydrates for 4 months as like a test thing to see how it affects my body. It actually gave me a rash, which is pretty interesting. But today is the first day I started eating like goodies again because I told myself over Christmas, do whatever. So it's Christmas Eve. Merry Christmas, I guess, to an extent. So anyway, this chapter, if we check the publicity menu, we can say to them, how are we doing? And you actually see that our publicity rating is 167. It says our level is 3. So here's the way that this works. The max publicity level is 5, but you can only really see the benefits of the publicity level that is equal to your current chapter. So what does that mean? That means in Chapter 1, it doesn't matter how much you publicize, you will only ever see the effects of these companies being at level 1. In Chapter 2, you'll see the effects of them being level 2. So you have to get to the final chapter of the game, Chapter 5, to see all the stuff. But as you level this up, it increases new things you can do in the mini-games, and it even opens new mini-games too. So this is one I never showed you guys at all before. And the reason we're so high, we're already at level 3, even though we're only going to on Chapter 2 at the moment, is because I publicized so well to people off screen. But so this is Lupine Dash. This, I'm not going to look at the rules of the game. This is like X-2 in a nutshell for me. X-2 is a game that has so many amazing, ridiculously in-depth, unbelievable stuff that you only see for a couple of seconds. All right, and this is totally that, all right? Maybe if anyone watching this is a gambler, all right, and is pretty good at it, and specifically bets on the horses, teach me something. Teach me something about this. So we can say, what class do we want to play? Because we got 3 publicity levels. We could go all the way up to 3 if we want to. We could go 3. We could go in the deep end. I really don't understand this very well. But this is basically the horses. So check it out. We've got, except we're racing, you know, the hounds that they have in this game. So we can place a double bet. Here's my understanding, all right? All right? I'm just going to go for it. I'm going to show you guys how ignorant I am. If we just place a win bet, then we're placing a bet on which of these 5 dogs wins the race, okay? And if we place a double bet, we are betting on which 2 dogs come in first and second. Or maybe even specifically just the position of 2 different dogs, I guess. We can make multiple bets all at once, and then you can review loads of them. So you don't have to just place one win bet. You can place loads. But so what we're going to keep it simple. All right, I'm not going to spend all video here. We're going to say, all right, which dog do we want to bet on? So now you got 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. And you'll notice that there's a crazy number. Now, that's the payout, right? Those are your odds. So if I bet on dog number 4 to win, I would get 16 times 0.45 my cash back. Because he is so unlikely to win the race. The one with the best odds is number 3, who's got 1.67. So that's the safest bet. But also, you don't get much payout out of it, right? So this is like how you'd experience the bookies, I guess. So you kind of get to decide. Now, who determines the odds? Why are the odds what they are? Well, you have to learn how the whole minigame works in terms of the stats of the actual dogs. So the stats of the dogs aren't like, you know, strength, defense, and magic attack, and blah, 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 like we have in the rest of the game. They've got unique ones specifically for this minigame. All right? So there is a lupine stat, which I mean, my guide says everything here, but there's really no need for me to go so in-depth with this. It's ridiculous, the amount of depth that's here. But you've got like a base speed amount, which is just how fast it moves. You've got stamina. When the dogs run out of stamina, they slow down lots. Rally is like their chance to sprint really quickly and go mental. Flux is their chance for... there's a thing where, like, when you start Flux, all of the stats will boost or decrease by a random amount. So this is what you currently see their stats are, but later their stats will just change. Just like, you can't really control it. They'll just change when the actual race begins. So Flux is like how much they'll change before the fight starts. So someone with really high Flux, like this one down here, number 28, he might suddenly actually race with a way higher speed stat. I think that's what that is. Luck is just like overall everything else. And then you just affects other things, I suppose. And then finally you got an overall rating. So when you look at the overall rating, it's kind of easy to understand things because you get 1.6 odds here, and this guy's overall rating is 61, which is higher than all the other dogs. But this guy's got a payout of 3, and his overall rating is only slightly lower than this guy's. So there's a lot you can do. When you get really good at it, you can figure out exactly where the bookies messed up and which bets always are the safest ones with the biggest payout, and over time you can earn tons of money. I'm just going to go for this guy, because why not, based on my little logic here. Then you can choose how many tickets you want to bet, and each ticket costs 10 credits, so we'll do that. We'll bet 5, so that's 50 credits there. Oh, my test file actually won the race, I bet. So we'll see. But I also took the safest odds. And then you can place more bets and stuff, but whatever. Let's start the race, and you kind of just go for it. But look at the depth they got in this minigame. All right, we bet on, well, who was it, number 4? Number 4's in front. Whoa, he's going so far ahead. Did we bet on number 4? He's going to get fatigued, though. What was that? Did we bet on number 4? Because number 4 absolutely destroyed them. Usually it's way closer than that, guys. You don't see one that goes that fast, usually. Did I bet on him? No, we bet on 5. What? Number 4 was the one with the hugest odds as well. Oh, we didn't get any payout. We just lost money this time. All right, whatever. That's the way it works. Maybe in Chapter 5, I'll go back through and show you guys what all these look like at Tier 5. But there you go. And once again, contributing to these games increases. You know, we spent those tickets, so it kind of helps open air here. But we're going to ride the hover now. And we're going to ride the hover back to the travel agency. I believe I've already told you guys, if you ride the hover enough, you get a free pass eventually. That'll happen by the end. And so now that we're at the agency, you might think not too much has changed. I'm just going to tap the save sphere there to regen everyone up. We've got the shop, of course, and she might not have really changed too many of her wares, but we can check once again. So we've got all of her stuff in stock already, so that's fine. But over here, actually, there are 2 new characters that we haven't seen. Now, cast your minds back to what Kimari said back on Gagazette at the start of Chapter 1.
Hi, Summoner Yuna. I am Leon Ronso. We have not met.
Nice to meet you, Leon. And this is?
Aid Ronso.
Hello.
The voice acting there.
We are happy to meet you. Leon and Aid hear many stories of Lady Yuna. Elder Kimari tells of your journey together. But please, do not speak to Elder of meeting Leon and Aid today.
Why not?
Oh. You must be the two kids who left Mount Gagazet, right? Kimari's really worried.
Good job, Riku. You're the smart one.
Should we take them back?
Yeah. What?
Yeah, they're bailing.
They can really move.
See, this way, we didn't make a moral decision to have those kids run off like that, to you know, not return the kids. They just left. What can we do? Anyway, so here's the person who wanted a wife. He says, you got my interest up to my son up to 76. Can't say I know what that means, but keep at it. I don't know what that means either, bro. I guess we'll just have to see. So that's Leon and Aid, and once again, there's actually alternate versions of that scene, depending on how you handle things. Anyway, we're going to go back to the airship and then come back to the Cardlands, which will trigger Clasko, who's on the airship, to want to come and join us here. Why would he want to come to the Cardlands, I wonder? Could it have something to do with the Chocobos here in the last game? So, on the airship destination, it says Clasko making his move. We let Clasko on the airship, but he seems eager to move on. Should we let him off? This always makes me sad, because I like having the Chocobo on the airship. And this is one of those things where I wonder what happens if you just leave him there for the rest of the game. But we're going to let him off. We're going to let him off at the Calmlands. This is the earliest possible opportunity you can do this as well, which is good. And by doing this, which is already an obscure set of occurrences to get to this point, we actually start one of the biggest side quests in the game that affects a huge amount of stuff.
This is it. Something tells me this is where I'll find my calling. I am in your debt, Lady Yuna.
Well, do we want to follow him? It looked like he was going toward the monster arena. Do you guys remember going there last chapter? Let's follow him. Of course, the advantage of me doing this airship here is I didn't have to run from the agency over there. What's going on, Clasko?
Oh, now what am I supposed to do? I was sure this would be the perfect spot, but it's infested with fiends.
I get the feeling he wants something.
All right. Well, so remember last time we kind of had that fob off where we tried to walk in the door and it just said, oh, you should come back later. It could be like that for the entire game if you don't do all the good Clasko stuff and keep him on the airship and encourage him constantly. But now, we never do get word of where the old man went, by the way, but now...
If only there weren't any fiends here. Ah, I'm so close, so close.
Do we want to help Clasko with his fiend problem? The answer is hell yes. Of course we do. We get to go in there. Oh my god, guys, I cannot tell you how badly I wanted to come in here during Final Fantasy X. I cannot tell you. This was actually one of the big payoffs for me when I was a kid and I got to play X2. I was like, oh yes, I was like a kid on Christmas. And now I'm an adult on Christmas. And actually, as well, this is so obscure that on my first time playing through X2, I never knew this was possible at all. And this was like such a big thing to find out this was going on. So this is clean sweep, exterminate the fiends that have taken up residence in the ruins, leave no fiend unslain. Now, just to excite you guys a little more, perhaps players of Final Fantasy VII or many of the prior Final Fantasy games, this is actually the start of a Chocobo ranch. So we're trying to clear the fiends out. And here we find one straight away. So let's walk into it. Ah, well, it vanished. That's surely a good thing, right? Well, let's go over here, I suppose. Here's another one. Is this just going to be as simple as there's one in each of these little rooms and another one here? Okay. Ah, these weren't real fiends at all, it says. Not all fiends are real, some are only illusions. Touching an illusory fiend will cause it to vanish. But then the last thing is that if you touch too many illusory fiends, then they all respawn and randomize. Which kind of sucks. So I'm going to quickly hit the save sphere, and we're going to figure this out. So basically the idea is you've got to figure out which fiend is the real fiend. I'm just going to run past and let you guys see all of them. We're going to stop touching them now. And you guys are going to have to figure out on your own, how do we figure out which one's the fake fiend? I mean, well, which one is it? I think this actually randomizes based on save file. A lot like what we saw in Besaid in Chapter 1 with the orbs and things. But something should be fairly obvious to you guys already. And that's that they're all, you can't really tell with the elementals, but they're all facing sort of interesting directions. And specifically, they're all looking at one particular place in the dungeon. That one place that they're looking, well, maybe that's our culprit. Maybe that's the fiend. So they all seem to be looking like down here right now. Let's have a look. And that's the idea, right? The odd one out is the one that isn't, like, fitting the pattern very well. So down here, he's looking back. And so's he. But then this guy's looking up. But so is it the blue elemental in the middle? But we can't really tell what direction elementals face. They're kind of like nulls. It's kind of interesting the way they use fiend design. So I can tell you straight away it's not the elemental. So it's either this guy or this guy. Which one's broken the chain? Let's try this one here. Ah, okay. So that guy was fake. So then that must mean this guy's the real one. If that didn't make sense, don't worry. We have to repeat the process a couple of times. Anyway, this is just a skink, so we can kill him. He's oversold. So let's have a little bit of a look at the Psychic. Psychic, she's got a regular attack, but she's also got Psionics, okay? Before, all we had was Psychic Bomb. We now have Telekinesis, which is instantly defeat an enemy, sometimes fails. So we'll pop that. Over on Pain with the Mage, the Gun Mage, she's actually got level 3 scan now, which I may as well pop for you all. It's an oversold enemy, so why not? Now sporting confusion and slow attacks in its oversold state. As an added bonus, it remembers how much damage it's taken when counterattacking. And that scan level 3 doesn't just allow you to rotate, but it allows you to zoom as well. So you can do kind of funny things with various enemies. So there you go. That's just how they improve scan. And in addition to that, like in terms of Black Mage. So, here we go. Oh, it missed. Of course it missed. Well. That's probably only really useful very early on, but you'll notice actually that's confused one. Oh, no, I think the skink himself just did it. Back to Psionics, we have Mazer Eye, which is just damage one enemy instead of all. Brainstorm, which I already showed you, and then there's this here, Express. Now, Express just massively buffs up Yuna, so that's pretty great. If you watch, it will actually give Yuna haste for herself. So, what you can do here... Oh, God, that mud bomb was really dangerous. So there's an Express on Yuna. Now, what she can do is haste... Phoenix down, Riku, while Pain goes to Blue Bullet and Mighty Guards, okay? And you want to do this in a lot of boss fights. So then we've got at least one hasted player, and with Mighty Guard, which is pretty nice. And so that's pretty much it. I'll show you guys what Mazer Eye looks like. This is kind of your flat damage, better than attack thing. Riku's still alive, thank God, with just a tiny little bit of health. That's probably the Protect there. Oh, wait, no, she doesn't have Protect yet. And this guy's obviously putting a lot of slow on us here, which is a shame, but Yuna's doing fine because she's still hasted. So there we go. She's using that attack. Now, Pain could obviously contribute a lot by using... she has... I think it's called Killosaurus, which is massive damage to reptiles, which is what that guy was. So you like Pain's so versatile. I love the Gun Mage. I think it's so cool. Anyway, now it says Fiends remaining 4. And the whole thing is like deliberately kind of weird and odd. Because now it's like, well, what do you mean? Do you mean fake Fiends or real Fiends? It means real Fiends, 4 real ones. So once again, same process. They're all looking at the real one. So there's a blue guy there again. That guy's facing that way. We don't know what direction that guy's facing. So that's like an empty slot. This guy's facing up. This is an empty slot. That guy's facing up as well. So this is either the fake guy or this is the fake guy. Now, what we can do to try and help us is actually use the other areas of the dungeon. So if we go, like, to the other side now. And that's another blue elemental. That's another blue elemental, so it doesn't help. But there, see, look, that guy is, like, pointing across, like, sort of middling. Ah, this doesn't help enough. That doesn't help enough. All right, well, let's try in the middle then, the top middle. It's either her or her. Her? Oh my God, we got it. Thank God. Thank God. Okay.
I'm gonna whack you good.
All right, once again, we're going to fight a hard fight here. There's going to be 2. Now, the Armit's going to oversoul, and I know for a fact from my test file we've got to deal with him quickly. So we're going to immediately use Teleport now on the Psychic. Now, what Teleport does is moves Yuna behind the foe. And that is actually totally unique to that dress sphere. No one else really gets anything like that. But from behind the foe, remember, she can do double damage. She was going to try doing double damage there, but this coral just blew her up with a death blow. So that's pretty dangerous. Instead of more damage here from Riku, we're going to immediately use a Phoenix Down. This is where Pain's going to learn another of her cool abilities. But for now, she needs to start shell cracking the Armit. She does the most damage to that Armit. So see how the shell from the Mighty Guard protects us from the coral right now? And there's a Phoenix Down on Yuna. The main threat in this fight here is going to be the Coriol using instant death on us. But it's fine. We want to leave it alive for now. What I'm actually going to use is a Brainstorm on the both of them from Yuna there. Now, what that Brainstorm will do is silence the Coriol, so it can't do many things, and confuse the Armit. See? It will hit them both with a different thing. Oh, no, they just both got silence there. Okay, that's fine. All right, well, look, let's get Yuna start doing some damage on that Armit. The Armit has to die. Now, that Death Blast ability, Blaster, okay, that actually is something Pain can learn. So if at any point she gets focused by that Coriol with it, she'll learn another one of her abilities. But for now, we've got to deal with the Armit. Lots of Phoenix Downs coming down here, but don't worry too much. I actually like that the fights are a little bit more involved in this right now. What we're actually playing currently, we could be doing in Chapter 3, so I think it's tuned a little bit harder. There you go, it's dead. All right. So now all we really want to do is have Death Blast hit Pain. Now, unfortunately for me, the previous time I was doing this, the Coriol did not want to cast Death Blast on Pain ever. Maybe she only does it on the lowest health girl. I don't know what it is. But to encourage that, we're actually going to have Riku escape. Oh, she can't escape. Oh, we can't escape from this. Interesting. So how do we do that? How do we get it to hit Pain? That's a bit of a pickle, isn't it? What if... Well, because we don't have Warrior or any of our grids or anything. We could do a bit of damage. There's a Death Blast. But it's going to keep hitting Riku. Do we leave Riku dead? What if she goes for Yuna next, though? Let's see what she does. Oh, I can't see what she does. Let's see what the Kuro does. If another Death Blast comes, but it goes on Pain. There's Bizaga, but he can't cast C because of silence, which is fine. He's just wasting up. That's a charge on a Death Blast. There you go. We learned the blue bullet. So now we've just got to very quickly... I'm going to drop a Mega Phoenix here to raise both the other girls, because if Yuna dies during this, then that's game over. And there we go. We got it. So everybody's up. Now, you might think that the fight's over, and all we got to do is hammer this mob. And that's actually the way I'm going to treat it. But there is another blue bullet. Again. Remember how at the start of the video, we got Mighty Guard? Now, if we confuse this foe, so we're going to want an Ether here on Yuna. If we confuse this guy, we have a chance of it casting White Wind on us. And White Wind, as you guys should remember, is friggin' awesome. So then, not only have we got super defensive magic, but we've actually got super healing magic as well, both on the same class, which is great. So there's Yuna trying again, but I don't know how to bait it out. You can confuse this mob, you genuinely can. But I just couldn't do it on my previous files. So we may get White Wind later. White Wind would just be another great way of healing. It would be kind of amazing if Death Blast that we learned on Pain there actually works back on the Coriol. Should we try it? Shall we try it? I mean, if this works, then... Oh, okay, she died anyway to the Farago. So there you go, that's the next fight. All right, Fiends remaining 3. So that's pretty much the main stuff to talk about. There's another thing, though, that you should know about saving in here. Now, if you save, it resets the whole minigame. So that's pretty bad. But you can tap the sphere to heal everyone up to full without having to use items and stuff. So it's not so much of a grind. So next, we're just looking for the next Fiend. So let's scan around, see what we can find here. Well, I mean, am I crazy for thinking that it's in the same place? Look, they're all looking in that direction, and then one of them's facing the other way. This guy seems to be in the wrong place. Do you really think it's in the exact same spot? The RNG would work like that? Let's try. Oh my god, it was! What? All right, fine. All right, just a skink and arm it. Now that we've already killed 2 from the previous fight, neither of these guys are actually going to be oversold. So we'll deal with them really quickly. Just to be safe, we can Mighty Guard there. Let's see if Blaster works on these enemies. So this is instant death. Oh, it totally worked, guys. It totally worked. That wasn't Pain's animation after they died to the Farago. No. 2 remaining. Oh, that Armit doesn't look good. Look, they're all looking to the right. Okay, let's try that Armit there. Over here. And again, I like this because, you know, a guide can teach you the idea, but there's a specific orientation of all the mobs is completely unpredictable. Again, another easy fight. All right, and now we have 1 Fiend remaining. Now, for the last Fiend, they do something really tricky. What have we had so far, guys? We've had the blue elementals kind of are null spots, right? Well, now for the final one, it will always be a blue elemental. Not only that, but the fight you get into as well will also be blue elementals. So what you might like to do is equip your girls with Menace of the Deep Garment Grid. So what the Menace of the Deep Garment Grid does, this was the one that we got back in Chapter 1. That means we are sort of attuned to water, remember? This is one of the best ways you can do it. You can always predictably have this. It allows us all to cast water magic if we go through gates, but it means we absorb water element, and that's the important part. So we'll have Riku on Festivalist for this fight. We'll have Yuna remaining on Psychic, and Pain on Gun Mage. What do you know? I already have it set up before the video. It's almost like it was planned. So that's part of the fight. But then the other part of the fight is going to be figuring out exactly which fiend we run into. At least I think you have to run into one of the blue fiends. See, logic would dictate, though, that it's this guy is the problem. Or that guy. Let's see what else is going on here. I don't want to mess this up, because you have to do it all again if you mess this up. Alright, so which one do you think it is, guys? Is it this guy, or is it this guy? Should we try the other armlet? This one? Oh, no. Alright. Oh, wait. Oh, I didn't reset the whole thing, right? Not the entire thing. Hopefully we're still on the last fight. If it's pushed me back to the first fight, I'll be really sad, I've got to tell you. That's not a nice Christmas gift. All right, they all looked fine. All right, you look a lot like the odd one out here. Oh, and you're a skink. Oh, no, it restarted the whole thing. No. Ah. All right, well, I will definitely see you guys later. Oh, okay. All right, it didn't reset the whole thing. Oh, that was weird. That should do it. ... Right, it says? Clasko says, this is the last thing left. What should I do, Lady Yuna? Actually, I am going to try and save. I'm pretty sure you're safe to save at this point. Okay? And with our garment grids ready, in we go. Perfect. All right. So, festivities. Firefish really isn't that great because fire damage. But I really don't have anything better for her to do on that, so why not? Now, once again, here we go. So we get to Mighty Guard. Not that these guys can do any damage to us anyway, because all they have is water attacks, which we absorb. We're literally immune here because of forward thinking and planning, okay? We'll express Yuna so that she can start going mental in a second. Look, the firefish did absolutely nothing. Zero. So Riku will just have to auto-attack. Maybe she can swap to Psychic. But Pain can seriously go kind of ham here because, of course, she's got Elementary, which is quadruple damage to elementals, which is exactly what these guys are. I suppose Riku, we could swap. We could have put Black Mage on, and we could have swapped her back for that, and that would have been okay. But whatever. I guess for now, she can just attack. These guys, it doesn't matter how much they magic up or anything. All we have to do is just, keep Psychic bombing them and blow them up. And that's what this fight's going to be, guys. I'll just cut through it because there's nothing you can miss. Oh, actually, one thing we might be able to do is throw some items. So we got Fire Gem, Antarctic Wind. There you go, Electro Marbles. We've got 81 Electro Marbles. We've actually got 6 Lightning Marbles and 7 Lightning Gems. Nice. Oh my god. All right, well this is electric damage. That's top tier electric damage right there. So that should end the fight right there. Super Final Fantasy 10 star, and you'll notice that these multi-hit attacks actually they now chain, which is great. And there you go, down we go. Very nice. There you go, Clasko.
Oh, thank you so much. At last, my dream can come true.
What is your dream?
What dream?
I'm going to start a Chocobo ranch. No one will bother me here. I can finally raise Chocobos in peace.
Good luck.
Look at this huge property we just got him.
Oh, no! I can't raise anything without a Chocobo.
What are you talking about?
You've got your work cut out for you.
No, that's it. It's the end. That's the whole minigame, guys. The whole side quest. That's it. It's over. No more Clasko in any Final Fantasy X. Not in this whole series. Nope. Bye. Really awesome rewards here, guys, actually. This is why I was so excited about doing this video. Number one, it begins, yes, the Chocobo Ranch. And there is breeding Chocobos. There is sending them out in the world. There's loads of different stuff. They can run on errands for you. Chocobos, if you send to the Beaconell Desert, actually do something really cool, which you might be able to pick up on from a previous episode. But just unlocking the ranch, even before you do anything else, you get the Alchemist dress sphere. Yeah, this was an entire class. My first time ever playing through the game. I missed completely. We did earn a new class here, and we got high road wins. From now on, you'll be able to capture chocobos during battles. Talk to Clasko for more details. So we got to actually catch the ones that we find now. Oh my god. So much to show you. So it will kick us out to here. First of all, let's have a very quick look at Alchemist. So she appears right here at number 3. The dress fit of choice for every item connoisseur. Very fitting considering the way we just won that fight. Mix up a deadly surprise or raid your stash for free goodies. So this is kind of like what Riku could do in the previous game with their overdrive and stuff, but plus even more. Alchemist is a great class. It was one of my original favorites. Maybe not so much as an adult, but really, really enjoy that class. Actually, can I just hit X on it? No. So then if we go to the abilities menu, and check what people start with, you'll notice by equipping Alchemist, it's not necessarily the greatest in terms of stats, as you see there. But we'll put Alchemist on. This actually is what makes Riku look like her original Albed uniform, I think, from the previous game. So you get attack and mix. You remember that old overdrive? That's just a basic thing. How cool is that? And then you actually get as regular abilities in combat, item stuff. So use a spare potion you tucked away. This will use a potion without actually diminishing it from your inventory. Now, because of the way gold works and stuff, gil works, it's really not great. But you get it for remedies, Phoenix Downs, and even better stuff later. Then you get other stuff, things we used to find on auto abilities in the previous game. Doubles the potency of items, remember that? Items level 2 cuts the time required to use them. Elementalist double the potency of Elemental. It's really, really cool, and we'll obviously learn a lot more stuff as we go through. So I think next episode we will have Riku set up as an alchemist. Then, of course, the other thing was the Garment Grid High Road Winds, which by equipping gives you first strike. Those who watched the previous game will know that this is an effect that means even if enemies ambush you, which means they should have the first attack at the start, you still get to use before them. Not only that, though, if you set it up correctly and move through that yellow gate, you can start casting haste on people, which is really cool, just very speedy-based thing. You got stop proof on there, slow proof. Very, very cool. All right, so let's head back in, say hello to Clasko. There is, of course, a chocobo up in the airship, but that's with Carly at the moment. And what have we got going here? Oh, baby chocobo! Clasko says, I'm out on patrol right now. If anyone needs me, just call. Hey, Clasko! We send the bird for him, and he comes back. That's the idea of what happened there. He says, all you have to do is catch the chocobos. I'll handle the rest, Lady Yuna. When you catch one, I'll have it brought here, so you won't have to worry about a thing. Oh, and did you know that once you've caught a chocobo, you can send it out to search for items? Well, for now, just take this. Chocobos love this stuff. And we get greens. Oh yeah, one whiff of this and chocobos calm right down. Again, people who played the previous Final Fantasy games will know about Gyasha greens. They're what you throw at chocobos during battles to capture them, tame them so you can eventually catch them. Once the chocobo's alone in battle, you need to give it some of the greens. That chocobo will be good as ours. So do you perhaps wonder why we just got a garment grid with first strike on it? It's so you can put that on your chocobo catching character, and they can very quickly throw a Gyasha green. What would help them throw a Gyasha green even faster? Well, I don't know, maybe they're an alchemist. So like a High Road Winds alchemist with the right stuff is really good at catching chocobos, and that's what the quest gives you. Giving a chocobo these greens while fiends are still around will calm it for a little while. Oh, and these might help as well. Take some, Lady Yuna. We even get Pasana greens. Yeah, there's lots of different types. Come back and I should have some more greens for you. Drop by every now and then, okay? So we want to refer to the help menu to learn more about the greens and stuff. You'll see there's a lot of stuff. You can raise, you can feed, you can... we're not this episode, though. We've been talking for long enough. So that's the beginning of the Chocobo Ranch, guys. May not do anything more here, but unlocking it just in Chapter 2 is ample, is plenty good enough. There is a whole... You may think you've seen the entire dungeon here, guys, but you haven't. If you do perfectly with the Chocobo, get the best breeds and stuff, do really well with it, eventually the Chocobos will find another secret in that dungeon, but that will be at the end of the game. And, there's just so much cool stuff. So anyway, thanks very much for watching, guys. That's the Calmlands complete. We did, of course, see in this video 2 of the Ronso children, and we have been heading north, so what say next episode? We check out what's going on with the Kamari and offer a little bit more advice to the Runso. So thanks very much for watching, guys. I will see you there. Have a great day, a great Christmas. Not that this is getting uploaded on Christmas, but still. And I'll see you next time.